The video you're about to watch was supposed to be made in October, but it didn't get made in October because my computer was broken and we needed to replace the motherboard. Not to mention Hurricane Zeta delayed when the computer could get repaired, and the backup computer I was using wasn't strong enough to play Minecraft, so there's no way it would be able to run a video editing software. All I ask is that you pretend it's October when you're watching this video, because I'm not waiting for next year's October to make this video. Okay? Good. Let's begin. Many who grew up in the early 2000s may recall a Nickelodeon cartoon called Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius. The show revolves around a genius boy named Jimmy Neutron and his wacky inventions. Included is a crazy cast of characters such as his robot dog Goddard, his best friends Carl and Sheen, rival Brainiac Cindy, and her best friend Libby, just to name a few. Each episode they have to deal with whichever one of Jimmy's inventions decides to go haywire and mess everything up. Naturally, being a popular show, it got quite a few video games. The one we will be looking at is the PC version that came out in 2001, which is based on the movie. I thought it would be appropriate to talk about it during the month of Halloween since this game scared me as a kid. Now, how can a computer game about a silly kids show scare me? Well, fans of the show may remember the episode where sentient pants were hell-bent on world domination, or the episode where sentient pizza tried to eat the kids, so there's definitely potential. Not to mention, this game has low polygon 3D graphics, so who knows what monstrosities lie within. I also decided to check out review scores for this game, and damn! Look at this absolute mess of a score table. The PC and PS2 versions got one bad review each. Nintendo Life didn't even bother to review the GameCube version. The Game Boy Advance version is apparently the only good version of this game. And the PC version doesn't even have a game rankings or a Metacritic score. Seems I've jumped right into the deep end with this one. I can tell I'm in for a good time. So I start the game and yo, what is with these graphics? They're all glitchy and stuff. It's almost hard to look at. I'm going to assume it's because old software doesn't run well on new hardware for some reason. So the Yokians are hunting for Jimmy Neutron, I guess for revenge for what happened in the movie. So we cut to Jimmy's lab where he's working on his teleporter. That's supposed to be an apple in there, but again, graphic issues. And it exploded. So Jimmy makes a small adjustment to it and then goes,
"Now it's sure to work. Ready to get in and give it a try, Carl?"
Wait, hold up, boy. You just blew up your friend's apple and now you're gonna ask your actual friend to get in the teleporter? James Isaac Neutron. What the hell? Luckily, Carl avoids it by giving the going home and doing homework excuse.
"Let's go, boy. Jump in the booth."
And then he asks his dog to do it? No, Goddard, please don't do it. No, you're too young to die. Luckily, the teleporter works, so Jimmy narrowly escapes my full wrath. For now.
Yay, we've done it! It works! Just a few more parts, then I'll be able to teleport anywhere, even to outer space. That would surely get me first place in the science fair.
So there you have it. This game is about Jimmy completing his science project while also fending off the Yokians.
Are you sure?
So I start the game and the first thing I need to do is figure out the controls, which is much more of a hassle than it should be. Normally you'd think to use W, A, S, and D to move, but actually it's the directional arrows that let you move. And then you also need to use the mouse. Left clicking to use an invention and right clicking to jump, which makes me sit in a very awkward position to play this game. So once I get a hang of the controls, I get the jetpack and I'm given the prompt to do a tutorial. It sounds lovely.
To use your shrink ray, point toward the object you wish to shrink. Then press and hold the left.
Oh my god, please talk faster!
Button. To use your jetpack, press and hold the right mouse button. The jetpack consumes energy from the neutron energy.
Yes, okay, I get what I have to do, now let me do it! The jetpack ain't too great either. Not only is it incredibly slow, but it only works if there's a platform right below you. If you try using it over empty space, you're just gonna go down and you have to restart whatever platforming challenge you were trying to do. So I get to the top of this thing, and this is where the scary stuff comes into play.
Intruder alert! Intruder alert! Hey! Everything looks bigger!
Yeah, imagine a low polygon egg with arms coming at you shouting "Intruder alert" would scare the pants off of any 7-year-old. Back to the controls though, because Jimmy has the turning capacity of a pickup truck on the highway. Look at how slow this turning is. Thank goodness most of the maps in this game are very wide open to make up for this terrible turning. Unfortunately, Jimmy's house is a bit too small. And look at his room, it's completely barren. Even in the movie he had way more stuff going on in here. So now it's time to race Nick in the school, and oh my god, they disrespected Nick with his 3D model. Well, I guess that's kind of fair considering his performance in the movie. So the Goddard scooter has worse turning than Jimmy because you're going a lot faster, but thankfully the school is big enough for you to not worry about it too much. And then the second race, you're in an outdoor area with a lot more space, so it's a little easier to control, except when you're in mid-air because you can't change your trajectory, which can be very annoying if you hit a jump just wrong and you miss something that you're going for, and it was very frustrating. I have to go back and get it, and very annoying. But aside from that, the maps are built just right to accommodate these shabby controls. Speaking of maps, I gotta admit, as a small child and a Jimmy Neutron fan, being able to explore Retroville on my own was a pretty cool idea. What irks me as an adult is realizing how empty it all is. Sure, Jimmy can interact with things, but there's no people around to interact with. It's like a ghost town. In fact, the only people walking around are the people you need to talk to advance the story, which means that more often than not, there's only one person in the entire game walking around at any given time. Speaking of people, look how lifeless everybody is. When you're talking to them, they're doing absolutely nothing. Look, even Jimmy has nothing interesting to do. Nobody's even riding any of the rides in Retroville. How is this park even open? But luckily Jimmy's able to ride these rides, which is pretty cool.
Child's play.
It's like they gave Jimmy all these really cool things he can do, except they forgot to give everybody else anything to do. Overall, the maps were well built to make up for the shabby controls, but that's not the case when you get to the Yokian battleship. Right before you get abducted onto the Yokian ship, you obtain this invisibility invention, which you're forced to use, so we're about to play a stealth game.
I think I hear a guard coming.
Ah! Holy crap, what is that? Okay, this is what really scared me as a child. Earlier, yeah, they were pretty scary in the jetpack tutorial, but now you're in a tiny room connected to a tiny corridor being chased by an egg with a lot more detail. Used to scare me so hard that I actually have my dad come in and play this section of the game for me. But now that I'm a fearless adult, I can play this section and tell you that it sucks. If you thought we were going to play a good stealthy game, you are dead wrong. This section is so poorly designed that if you were to put it in an actual stealth game like Metal Gear Solid, you would not be able to pass it. It's not possible. It's just terrible. You would get caught every time. The invisibility invention that you're forced to use only lasts for 15 seconds and takes 15 seconds to charge. The problem is that it takes more than 15 seconds to get to different hiding spots. You don't have free control of the camera, so you can't look around corners like a normal human being. Even if you do get caught, you don't get penalized in any sort of way. And getting attacked by the Yokians does about as much damage as a small rock would do to a pickup truck. You don't lose any momentum either. So what's the point of having a stealth section of the game if you're not penalized for being caught and you don't get rewarded for being stealthy? It sounds like a big waste of time. This section would be so much easier and probably more fun if I could just use my shrink ray. I mean, it's not like the stealthiest bit matters, just let me go 8 mode on these eggheads. But that's enough of that, because I am out of this godforsaken hellhole. Apparently Sheen has a computer part for me, so I better go get it from him. Except he threw it in the sewer.
Hey, Jimmy, I threw a computer part into a small sewer inside the subway downtown. Gee, I bet you could have used that, huh?
Was it green with 2 black chips and a gold adapter?
That sounds like it.
Okay, this scene raises several questions. Why did Sheen have a random computer part lying around? How did that computer part just happen to be exactly what Jimmy needed? Why did Sheen throw it in the sewer instead of offering it to Jimmy? I mean, I know he's the impulsive friend, but come on, he's not that bad. And the entrance to the sewer is too small for Jimmy's gargantuan head, so he sends Goddard in after it instead.
Is it dangerous?
Yep.
Is there a chance I might never be coming back?
Yep.
Oh, come on, you could have at least sugarcoated it a little bit. And as you can imagine, Goddard's controls are just as bad as Jimmy's. His turning circle is too big at max speed, and his turning is too slow when he's standing still. On top of that, he ascends slower than the jetpack. And this section really isn't long at all. I mean, all you have to do is go up a few ramps and go in one hallway, and you found the part. That was a little too easy, actually. And then more story happens. Most of it is talk to this person, bring this to that person, bring this to that other person, talk to that person, and then Carl gets abducted by aliens! So then you need to get your rocket back from Ultralord, which you do very easily.
Remember I loaned mine to you when yours got stuck in customs back in Tokyo? Huh? Remember?
And then he tells you that your rocket ship needs plutonium to fly as he slides across his platform. For the most part, I've been skipping over tutorials because they aren't really worth talking about because they're just like that first one. But the rocket tutorial has got to be one of the worst tutorials I've ever seen in a game. I mean, aside from the fact that it feels like the rocket flies only a smidge faster than Jimmy's running speed, it's just so much longer than it needs to be. You have to fly through 10 rooms, which aren't even that difficult, and you can't turn back because you don't know how far you've gone, or if turning back will actually take longer than going forward. And I haven't noticed a way to just get out of the tutorials. Come on, let me out of here, I just want to get back to the crappy story! And then you eventually find the exit, and you're filled with so much exuberant joy that you think it's Christmas time. So now you need to get the field trip pass for the power plant from Miss Fowle's classroom, which Cindy has the key to. At first she's reluctant to give it to you, but then she quickly changes her mind as Cindy gets abducted by aliens! Okay, for real, these aliens were able to successfully abduct Jimmy once and then never again. What's worse is that they keep missing him by like 5 feet. I mean, Jimmy's head is the size of a gym bag. It can't be that hard to miss.
We are sorry, sir. All of the humans look alike to us. You have failed me for the last time, Lieutenant.
So you get the field trip pass from Miss Fowle's classroom, which is, by the way, in no way positioned in any way similar to how it was in the movie, and then Miss Fowle is already there somehow. She tells you that the power plant is going to explode because the Yokians are draining its energy. And then Miss Fowle gets abducted by aliens! You guys have missed me 3 times in a row with my gym bag-sized head. You guys suck at this!
Well, we've been unable to capture him, sir. He's slipperier than a greased rooster in a chicken coop.
So this power plant stage is pretty much the only challenge in the game. The thing that makes it challenging is having to use the grappling hook, which sucks. It sometimes works, but sometimes you also clip through the bottom of a platform and sometimes you don't. So it's kind of unpredictable to work with. Not to mention always looking up makes you not sure what's going on below you, so you may accidentally fall off something or step in something that hurts you. You also have to throw baseballs to hit buttons from far away to turn off giant fans. The only challenge with this is that you pretty much have to guess how far you have to throw. And this 15-minute time limit is negligible. It takes like 5 minutes to beat this thing. Maybe 7 or 8 if you make a mistake.
I sense danger. Only my grappler and baseball modes are safe in here. Any rocket flames would blow this place through the roof.
So you successfully turn off everything and get to the last room in the stage, and Jimmy casually steals 4 rods of plutonium. Just casually. It just picks them up and leaves. Now you're triumphantly outside, and the music choice is odd. Like, I get it's supposed to be like victory music because you just saved Retroville from turning into another version of Chernobyl, but the music makes me think of beach songs. Holy jambalaya, I forgot to talk about the music! The music is hard to describe. When you compare its pros and cons, it doesn't make any sense. The pros are that it's well composed, pleasant to listen to, and fits the atmosphere of the area it plays in. The con is that the songs are all incredibly short. They can be as long as 20 seconds or as short as 4. And the songs constantly loop for all eternity, so these melodies are going to get drilled into your head whether you like it or not. Despite that, I don't remember ever getting sick of hearing the music. Because it fits the atmosphere so well, I eventually just accepted it as part of the environment. Honestly, the music is pretty good, even if it is a bit short. So I guess I should go after the Yokians and save Carl and Cindy and Miss Fowle, but at the same time I want to look around the Retroville and see what else I can find. Oh. That there in the distance doesn't look too good. There's quite a few things you can do, like launching rocket ships and retrieving your T-Rex. Look at him go. But all this doesn't really matter aside from giving you more points, which don't matter because there's no leaderboard, and 100% the game doesn't give you anything aside from bragging rights that you were able to 100% complete Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius on the computer. But now I must be a good boy and save everyone from the Yokians. And to that end I must go inside this tiny tunnel. This very long tunnel. Oh my god, why does the rocket have to be so slow? So eventually your long flight finally ends and you get to a Yokian battleship. Oh god, not this trash again! Fortunately this section is not too long and you get to use your shrink ray! Hooray! Shrink! Then you see Carl being taken onto a ship, but only Carl for some reason. So now you gotta take another long slow ride in your rocket to chase that ship. Except the ship you're chasing drops air mines behind it, so look out! And yes, this section is way too dang long. Then you're abducted onto a Yokian ship. You guys finally got it right! Except it's time for another terrible stealth section that's just as unrewarding and non-punishing as the last one. I mean, the worst that happens is that you can't find the button to open the door. There's a later section where you have to hit 3 buttons which open 3 doors, and you have to run through all 3 doors before they all close. If they close before you get through them, you gotta open the past doors and go back to the start to try again. And oddly enough, this section actually ends way sooner than you'd think it would. I mean, considering how long the tunnel sections were, you'd think this would last a bit longer, but it just ends so suddenly.
Release my people!
Guards, take him away.
Intruder alert! What are you pointing at me?
Why couldn't I use the shrink ray? So now you've saved your friends and family, and everybody is congratulating you like it's that one scene in Evangelion. And now you're gonna get points for every single red neutron that you picked up. And this is unskippable. You gotta deal with it. Oh boy. Good news is that Jimmy successfully finished his science project, and he's on the moon. Oh, look at that. And it's restarting the game.
I can feel
Okay. I'm out. So overall, this game was a bit disappointing, not to mention a bit too easy. I mean, I get it's a kid's game, but even for kids, this is a bit too easy. Most of the value of this game comes from not doing the story. In fact, the story is so short, I could probably do it in under an hour. Actually, I wonder if I could. So yes, I was able to beat just the story in under an hour. I think I'll upload the video of that footage after I'm done with this video. But this game is also so bad that it's actually good. It's certainly not something I would actively go back to, but it seems more like something I would play on a slow, boring Sunday when I have nothing to do. Just to goof off, nothing serious. So based on the scale of the enjoy-meter, I would give this game a solid 5. Thank you for watching this video. Hope to see y'all again soon.
That cat looks scared. I should rescue it. Way to go, Goddard! You're safe now.